Hello and welcome to another episode of Front End Horse Live. We got Louis back on the show. Louis, I love it. I love the is it a jumper? Is that what?
No, it's a dungaree.
Dungaree.
You
That's
know,
sorry.
yeah.
Here they're overalls, so I always
Yeah,
forget
sorry.
the other terminology, but I love that you come with it every time. It's just a fun mood. You're just such a I don't know. You're a great presence to have here. You make me happy just being on the show, and then you bring fantastic coding stuff to teach us. Last time you were on, you taught us about Figma, how to make a Figma plugin. Still love that. Still like on my to-do list to like get in there and make something. But man, I am so glad to have you back. And we got some good people in the chat. Luxanada, Lucas, how you doing? Good to see you. Amit, great to see you. Adrian, got some good people here. I'm very excited for this. You reached out to me the other day. You're like, hey, do you want me to come on and show everyone how to do this? I'm like, yes, absolutely, yes. I was very excited to learn about this. Now, I'm not sure because people have seen it and like we've disclosed it. Should we show what we're building up front? Because like you've already, it's not a code pen that you've been hiding and you're like, hey Alex, should
Yeah, it's not a surprise for you.
Well, it's all. I mean, like, because it's also out in the public, and like you've tweeted about it and everything. So, wait, is it private? Like, have you released it yet?
No.
Okay.
It
I'm
is.
just making
Yeah.
sure. All right, so we will show what it is. Fox in the wind. There we go. Cool. So I'm gonna switch to Duo Desktop. That means nothing to anyone else. I'm just saying the button out loud that I have here. But yeah, so this is kind of the code pen that we're going to be working towards. This is so freaking cool to me because like you have this Fox model, but then the fur. I mean, first off, it has fur, which is like not a thing that I often see in a Three.js scene. It's usually like solid models with some good shading or whatever. But the fact that there's fur and the fur is moving around seemingly in the wind, I think the title works, is just so cool. And it's got like this neon effect because it's just like brightly lit there. So yeah, you wanted to show this off and I just jumped at the opportunity. Mio Style, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the chat. Great to have you. Ed, good to see you. And thank you for dropping it in. Louis, I appreciate you sharing the link with everybody. You are better at this than I am. Angela's here. Aaron, great to see you. Lo-Fi Codes, right? It's so cool. So we're going to learn how he did this. And so basically, we've got a few techniques in here that I'm excited to dig into. Because you're using noise to kind of make this effect, right? Like that's not actually like a wind simulator, although it seems like it could be. But yeah, you're using noise to make it move like that, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's all about faking and pretending what it is.
That's what we're all about here. Fake it until you might make it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Mike's here. Good to see you, Mike. So before we get like too much deeper into it, before we start like our new pen and dive in, for people who might not know you, who are you? What do you like to do? What do you like to get into?
Okay, well, I'm a front-end developer. I'm from Brussels, Belgium, and I'm recently freelancer, like full-time freelancer. So if any of you need some work done, I could help you for that. And apart from that, I love playing with animations, SVG, and WebGL, obviously. So that's yeah.
Solid list, yeah. And I agree. If any of you out there have a company or anything where they're like, we need to bring in someone to do something really really cool, he's
Hire me.
Yeah. So just keep him in mind. So we are going to get started. Where exactly? Oh, actually, I need to switch over to my second profile, Alex. There we go. Here we go. Now it's official. Now we should any minute now get a horse. There we go. This is how we know
Wow.
we're working in the right space. Gruba, good to see you. We're doing good. We're getting into some Three.js today. So we kind of did the project overview. Now we need to download our model, right? Like that's our true first step. So where are we going
Yeah.
to download that?
So back then, Google was released this Poly
Yeah.
website, which was really convenient. You could download low poly
Rest in peace to all Google
3D models.
projects that
Yeah,
left before before their time.
another one that died.
In Inbox,
Um,
I still miss you, Inbox. All right.
Google Plus was fun also, but
Google Reader, right? Like, oh, so many.
yeah.
Anyway.
So lucky us, somebody actually downloaded all the files. I don't know how, and now we can find them back. So you can go to poly.pizza, and I will share the link on the Twitch already. Yeah. So this is basically what Poly from Google is. It's just a backup of it. So we will start by finding a model that we want to use for this project.
Cool.
So maybe we could find a horse if you
Really
want to fit. Yeah. I mean, the project should work with any kind of animal. So, ooh.
All right, which one? There's multiple.
Some of them are, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to go with the mechanical horse. Is there any like a tip that you might give? Like are there certain ones that you can like eyeball and say like, that one, we're not going to do that one because I can tell that it is too complex or that the normals are inverted or just something like, I don't know, technical, or is it just kind of like a crapshoot and it's just like, it might work one way or another?
Well, usually what you're looking for when you download 3D models to use on the web is like really light files.
Okay.
And all the files on this website are actually very, very small because of the fact there are not many polygons on them.
Right.
So you shouldn't be too worried to download any of them. And what's happening sometimes is that the scale is not always like consistent. Maybe you could load two models and the horse could be smaller than a dog, for example. So you will need to scale them according to your imagination.
Right.
But since we're gonna use only one model, any of them would be good.
Okay. I'm split between these two. Chat, what do you think? Number one or number two? I don't know. This guy's got a longer face.
This one is a little sad.
This is number two. This is number one. Chat, vote in the chat. I'm gonna go with like the first three people, and hopefully it's not a draw. So number one, number two.
Number one.
Yeah, 2, 1, 1, 2. It's split. Oh no. One. All right. One's in the lead.
No, 3 for the one.
It's neck and neck. Number one pulls ahead. Number one. All right. So, wait, are ducks not supposed to be larger than a horse? I forgot about that. Remember when that was like a whole thing that like that took over the internet for like a month, it feels like. All right. It's number one. And thank you for the follow. Welcome. You are now an honorary horse. So we're going with number one. So we just hit download.
Yep.
Cool. And if you are following along, here is your winner, number one. Download OBJ or GLB?
Both should work, but I'm most familiar with OBJ.
Okay.
So I think
my understanding, and chat, correct us if, or Louis, correct me if I'm wrong. OBJ is like in older format. It's not as compressed or like is typically bigger, but like seems to be kind of like the JPEG in that like you can put it anywhere, but it's not as like speedy. Where like I feel like GLB is more kind of like a WebP, where like it's really fast and it looks great and everything, but it you can't drag it into every app or every situation, right? Like, so that's kind of my really basic understanding of this stuff. If anyone in chat wants to correct me, I would love it. Cool. So we will copy this out. Okay, so I'm going to start a new pen and .new. For anyone in chat who doesn't know this is like such a small convenience, but it's lovely. If you type pen.new, it just starts a new code pen for you. And that's it.
I didn't know the trick.
It's really nice.
The one I knew is codepen.io/pen. That I knew, but
pen.new is even nicer.
So they actually that's okay. I wonder if there are any Easter eggs, pen.new/something.
Pen.news. Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
Like,
I don't know.
What can you reach else from that?
Chris Coyer, hit us up. Let us know what else what else we're missing out on. And Chad, good to see you. Do this episode as a gem. Thank you very much for both of this. Well, we will see. I mean, let's not count our furry horses before they've been modeled, but I have a good feeling about it. So okay, we got that. Did I actually download it? Oh yeah, I did. Here we go. Horse.zip.
Yep.
Here we go. Horse.zip is not an uncommon thing for me to have on my computer. You'd be surprised. Horse. All right. So I've got my horse. Now what do you want to do?
Well, you can upload the file on CodePen so that we can import it and load it from the CodePen itself.
Okay, cool.
So, we will just need the OBJ because we won't need the materials.
Right, because we're doing the thing that we're doing. Got it.
Yeah.
Nice. But so normally I could use this, and it's always funny to see like the actual
the flat horse.
Yeah, like how it's kind of like an animal rug, right? It's just like, oh, I guess that's not to be grotesque or anything, but that's kind of how it works. All right, so this is the object. It looks like. I'm gonna go to our pen. I do have CodePen Pro, so I'm able to use assets. If you don't have CodePen Pro, maybe you could host it on GitHub or something, right? Like, or could you link directly to it? Oops. It didn't like that. This can be finicky. Is that just me or?
No.
Yeah, like it goes. Drop your files anywhere, but not there. I got it. You have to like perfect. It was a bit of a video game. It's a fun built-in video game, is what it is. All right, cool. So we've got the OBJ there. Do I want to copy the URL or?
Yeah, you can already copy it and paste it in another panel. Cool. But it's not for now exactly.
I'll just grab this comment. Cool.
So what you can do next is go to JS deliver, so we can find all the modules we will need. Yep, you can find the Three.js below. There is a search bar. It's a bit it's hidden.
Now
it's weird.
What's the difference between JS deliver and like a Skypack? Same thing essentially, just like a user preference, or
I don't know Skypack, so it's probably the same.
I just know that's the one that's built into CodePen now. Like if I were to go here and go 3.
But here you won't load them as modules, or can you?
Yeah, so it does this bit.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So it pulls.
What? What did you do? I never.
Yeah. So the JS panel has 2 things now, and I don't fully like. Yeah. So this one's for scripts, and then this one I think does the same thing as JS deliver, where you use. Oh my goodness! Anonymous just gifted 5 tier 1 subscriptions. An anonymous gifter. Thank you, whoever you are, you mystery horse. I really appreciate you. That's so kind. I've never had an anonymous gifter before. Oh, and Shaw is here. I'll never tell. Oh, Shaw is talking. I'm sorry, Shaw. I've been so engrossed here. I've been completely missing chat. Good to see you, first off. And yeah, Pro is phenomenal. I think the assets alone are fantastic. I think private pens is still my like number one pro feature, just because there's so much stuff that I like to work on either in secret or in shame and just like kind of do it privately. But I love it. The course fixes we implement for assets will fix so many issues that you'd run into with other hosts. Oh, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. El Suxo, good to see you. And Thomas, great to see you, you wonderful robot. So I'm just catching up on chat real quick. Danke for, I love it. When will next Keyframer season air? Ooh, that's a good question. Keyframers is fantastic. Richard Gill, sorry that was me. Oh, no worries. Richard, thank you so much for those gifts. You don't need to apologize for doing it anonymously. Although, Richard, are you claiming credit for someone else? I'm just kidding. Skypack website mentions the differences. Oh, cool. Skypack operates like your favorite CDN, but with an important difference. Packages are pre-optimized for browser use, but Skypack doesn't stop there. It handles minification, browser polyfilling, gzip/Brotli, HTTP3, caching, and more. Dang, that is awesome.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Chorus plus Canvas are a big time suck. Yes, that's a really good point. Shane pens are the majority of my pens. Right, Lo-Fi Codes? I'm right there with you. We're working on some stuff behind the scenes. Ooh, for what exactly? El Suxo said, cool. So that's for the keyframers. I'm excited to hear some news on that, Shaw. Yeah, you and David are fantastic. And Core Activities has a weird question. When did browsers switch to F as the default key for full screen? Good question. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like F is the default when you're in video, but I haven't gotten that F as default for anything else besides like YouTube. But I could be.
Yeah, I don't think it's a default in browser. I think it's really YouTube based.
Yeah, I feel like
Cassie.
Yeah, I feel like it's more a YouTube thing, just for like the ease of use. The way like M is for mute in YouTube. I think that's YouTube and other video things taking that, but if you've seen, because I can't imagine F working elsewhere and that like not getting in the way of other things. But good to see you, Cassie. Cool. So yeah, I think this should work. Shaw, correct me if we're wrong on going with this over the JS deliver. Is it cool that we run with Skypack for 3? Also, am I doing it right? So should we just do 3? Like all caps?
Yeah, it should be 3 in all caps. Yeah.
Cool. This should work, but maybe Shaw. I'll keep the JS deliver open just in case. Do we need other libraries?
But also, like the version of Three.js is wrong. It's 77, and we are like 136 now.
I might have grabbed the wrong one. I was a little kid. So 3. So I should grab this one instead.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I wasn't sure which one to grab. So good catch there. It's funny because Mr. Doob owns both of these, and so that's what threw me off a little bit. All right, settings. Do we need other packages here?
Not for now. We can just start setting the scene, and
cool.
We will render a cube because that's a good start if we have a cube. Yeah. So first thing first, we will need a scene. To like add all the elements, so you can create a variable scene that is.
Do you go caps for scene or lowercase?
No, I don't use lowercase.
Cool.
New 3.scene.
Cool.
Yep, that's a good start. And then we will need a camera, so we can record what we are putting on the scene. So a perspective camera. Yep. So parameters, we'll use 75. That's the angle. That's the opening of the camera. Like some cameras are like very narrow angles, and some are like really wide.
Cool.
So 75 is, I think, is the closest number to the human eyes or something. Or I could be wrong. It's a good number anyway.
Then we will you picked a good one.
75. I love it.
Like you're crushing it, buddy. Keep going. Give me some more of these numbers.
Okay, 78 is also really good, but that's for later.
Okay.
Then we need the ratio. The ratio will be the size, the width of the screen divided by the height of the screen, since we will be making everything, the canvas full screen. So you can do window.inner width divided by window.inner height.
Cool.
Yep. And then the last two parameters is like the nearest elements that should be rendered on screen. So you can use 0.1, and then the further one will be 1,000 for now.
Cool.
Okay, so we get the scene, we get the camera. Now we need the renderer, so we can actually put things on the canvas. So you can create another const variable renderer, and we will use new.3.webgl renderer.
Do you pass anything to that?
Not for now.
Cool.
So we need to add the canvas element into the body, in the DOM. So to do so, you can do document.body .appendChild, and you can give it the renderer.dom element.
Like that?
Yeah, it's lowercase for DOM. Yeah.
That? Cool.
Okay, so now we have the canvas on the page.
Cool.
We still need to give it a size because for now we have the default canvas size, which is not what we want. So the renderer, you can call the function, the variable, and do renderer.setSize, and define the width, which will be the window.innerWidth, and the height, window.innerHeight.
Sweet.
Yay! So now we're full screen.
But of course
it's not responsive for now.
I'm just saying that for the chat, just because I always do this to stuff in CodePen. Does anyone else just like constantly? Shaw, I want like statistics from CodePen. Could you please tell me how many times I've clicked this bar and dragged it back and forth, because I just want to see ridiculous stats on myself. So if you let me know. Oh, CodePen project example of Three.js via Skypack to import modules. Ooh, I will click. Oh, one deploy project.
With animations.
Very cool. So this is a CodePen project example. I don't utilize projects enough of using Three.js via Skypack to import models. Very cool. And Leah's here. Good to see you. Andre, good to see you. Sumac, welcome. I forget project. Yeah, I do too. I definitely need to lean on this more. But really cool that you've got it like set up that we can just run with it if we so choose. This is really handy. And I like the teacher theme. Very nice. Cool. So, yeah. So sorry, I started to drag back and forth and got lost down a rabbit hole. But we're back. So now what do we want to do?
Yeah, well, we will make the cube. So we have something to render. So you can create first the geometry. You can do that after everything we've done here.
Okay.
So after the line 14.
Okay. Cool.
So to make a 3D element, we need three things. Well, the first one being the geometry, all the shapes, the vertices and stuff. Then the material, how it looks. And then finally, you group all of that into a mesh. So the mesh is a combination of geometry and material. So the geometry will be new 3.box geometry. Yeah, we don't need parameters. The default is 1 by 1 by 1, so that's not needed. Then a material, we will use a mesh basic material.
Cool.
And you can give it a parameter, which will be the color.
Sure,
so
thank
for
you
example,
for the sub. I really appreciate that. That's super kind. Sorry,
yeah.
You said to give it a color?
Yeah, the color of the one you wish.
Okay.
But you need to give it as a like an object. It's
Yeah, thank you for that sub, Shaw.
Yeah.
That's super kind of you.
So the last part is the mesh. So you can create a const cube or mesh. Yeah, that's good. New 3.mesh. And then the parameters will be geometry, comma, material.
Cool.
And we add that into the scene. So scene.add cube.
Awesome. And
Okay,
Andre says,
so
I wonder about your relationship with horses. Many people do. It's, yeah, lots of people are confused. My parents especially. Cool.
there are things we don't really want to know when you're here.
You just don't ask. You don't want...
No.
Cool.
Let's render everything. So you can do renderer.render scene, comma, camera.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yep.
Moist Style, thank you so much for that sub. Wow. Really, really appreciate it. Purely platonic horse relationships. Yes. I do want to state for the record. Absolutely. No, the entire thing is .horse is a funny domain name. Actually, Cassie also has a .horse domain, I think for her meetup, or I'm not sure. Cassie, if you're still here, what's your .horse domain? We are .horse domain pals now, is the thing. We both have .horse domains. Hers is fantastic because as you move your mouse around, generator.horse. Thank you. Yeah, for generator button, or for Brighton. Why do I think it was button? But yeah, as
when you click.
So good. So I'm like, I saw that. I'm like, I want to steal that. But yes, .horse domains are just funny. They're just funny.
Well, if you scroll to the bottom, they also bounce at the end of the page.
They do?
Yes.
Cassie, you are fantastic. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good one, Cassie.
So good.
It's a really good one.
So good. Yeah, so .horse is just a funny domain, and it's an easy thing to then, like, what should we grab for a model to work on? It's just easy to have, like, the theme you can lean on. Cool. So we're adding scene and camera.
Yeah, so we're not seeing anything because, well, the camera has a position, and the position is 0, 0, 0, and the cube is also 0, 0. So we need to move either the cube outside of the camera or the camera outside the cube, but the easier is to move the camera. Yeah. So if you go up, you can do camera.position.z, and you can make it 5.
Cool.
Yay! So we have a cube. It's not really fancy, but it works.
It does.
So what we will add is the orbit controls so that we can drag and drop inside the canvas and see around the cube. It will really help us when we will load the model.
Cool.
So I don't think it's a built-in Three.js, so we will need to import that.
Let's see.
And
how are
that's
we doing it here? I'm curious. Because this has orbit controls.
Yeah, it does. If you check in the main
orbit controls,
yeah.
There we go. Nice. Thank you again, Shaw. Appreciate you, buddy. Sweet. So now, do we need to do something with this though? We just can't import.
Yeah. We need to init the controls. Cool. So to do that, after the renderer, maybe after the app and child. I mean, or anywhere actually, but before this line.
Okay.
You can create a variable controls and new orbit controls. You give it the camera as a parameter, and then the second element is renderer.dom element. So the controls, they need to know where to capture all the mouse events. But it's still not working because we're not repainting the scene on every frame. So to do so, we need to create a function we will call on each frame. So you can create a function, animate or render or whichever name you want, or frame.
Cool. Should put that function like here-ish. I feel like it's usually.
Yeah, no. After the scene.add cube.
Got it. Okay. Scene.add. Okay, after here, yeah. All right. So function. You said it was called what? Or
animate is fine. I think it's the one they use on the documentation.
Cool.
And you can copy paste the line we have at the end of the file. So the renderer.
Got a good tip from
Oh yeah,
Jackie.
good catch.
Good catch. Yeah, that's a like we might not hit anything, but we might. So it's just worth worth aligning those. Good eye. All right. So you said what?
Yeah, so the render method, you can put it inside the animate function.
Cool.
And inside that animate function, we will need a request animation frame. Yep, and you give it as a parameter animate. So it means that the browser will run the animate function, and when it's done, when we need the next frame, it will call the animate function again. But we need to initiate that infinite loop, so you can just copy paste the line 32 and duplicate it 2 lines below.
Do that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And now, if you drag and drop on the right, you should be able to. Yay!
Nice. All right. Very cool. We don't need to update the orbit controls or like do like an update thing. Interesting.
The update is only for the trackball one.
Okay. Interesting. Got it.
I don't know why actually, but for the orbit controls, you don't. It's nice.
Cool. And Tanner Dolby's here. Good to see you. Always good to have you, Tanner. All right, awesome. So we've got kind of our basic scene set up with an object, but we're not going to be putting fur on this cube, or are we? We could start with the cube, but what do we want to do now?
I don't know. Do you want to go with the fur first, or do you want to load the horse?
Let's bring that horse in. Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So at the beginning of the file, you can add another import.
Okay.
You can import the obj loader.
Import. So from where is my only thing because we were
just copy paste, and I'll tell you what to update.
Okay, cool.
So you can replace orbit controls, both of them. Yeah, obj loader.
That cool.
And here it will be JSM/loaders/obj loader.
.js.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Seems to not have broken, so that's good.
So let's use the loader to load the file we downloaded before. So you can, after the cube setup with it below.
Just moving my little link down. Could have done it an easier way.
Yeah.
Well.
We will need it soon.
Yeah. Cool.
So you can create a variable loader, which is a new obj loader. And then on another line, you can do loader.load and give as a parameter the URL. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And then a callback.
Is the next argument?
Yep.
Arrow function or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And you will get the data. So inside the parameters, parentheses, yeah. And let's make a console log of the data so we actually see what's happening there and
cool.
if it works.
All right.
So you can open the console. Not broken, so it's, yeah.
I'm going to use the DevTools console. Just be for like, I like the built-in CodePen one, but for like really verbose logs, I find the Chrome or the Firefox or whatever, it's just a bit easier to navigate. All right, where are we going? We're looking for children or what?
No, this is actually fine already as it is, because it's a group that contains only one mesh. So I guess the horse is not divided in multiple meshes.
Cool.
So it's fine. So what?
Like an entire scene, and there's like a bunch of objects, and they're grouped together. But if you want to like animate one specific thing or add a material to one specific thing, you've got to like dig into the children and everything. But right now, the children's just one mesh. Is that right?
Yeah. So that's even better for us for later.
Yeah.
And you can see that it's trying to load the wildhorse.mtl, but we don't need that, so it's fine.
Cool. I got it. Okay. Old Segotia says you need to update controls in the loop if you use damping. Got it. That makes sense. because it
Oh,
won't be
because
like
then the controls are updated on each frame, and when you drag and drop with the mouse, it's updated on the mouse move events. That makes sense.
and then it would also like need to happen after you've let go, like I
Yeah.
because damping's like a bit of like friction, right? Like it's a bit of that.
Hmm.
Also, chat. I completely dropped the ball on this. How's our audio? I have not checked. I haven't been keeping a good eye on that. Is our audio kind of equal, or are one of us a little louder or quieter than the other? Completely missed that part of the entire setup process. Go me. I need checklists. I think that's what 2022, the year of checklists. Oh, and we should probably the other thing that typically goes in these animate things is like the check to see if the windows change size, right?
Not inside the animate because you don't want to do that on each frame. You want to do it
Good
on each
point.
resize event.
Yeah, on a window resize. Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate that. Yeah.
but
Oh,
if
and
we have time,
those.
we can
Great.
do that later.
All
Oh,
right.
I'm
Cool.
louder than.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm dropping you. It's all on me. I appreciate. You're always really loud, Alex. I appreciate you, Cassie. Louis louder. Got it. All right. Cool. I brought him down. Thank you so much. Yeah. Anytime that happens, chat, feel free to just be like, hey, tweak it a little bit because I forget. So I appreciate you, chat. Thanks for the heads up. Cool.
Um,
So now what?
yeah, instead of the console log, we don't need that anymore because we know that we're loading the good file. So you can do scene.add data.
See. Okay. Console log scene.add data.
Inside the
Got it.
callback.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hold
No, no,
on.
no. So, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
add and then.
Yeah. as soon as I typed it, I'm like, nope, that's wrong.
Okay, so we don't see anything, and it's most likely because the horse is too big
Oh
for us. So
no,
if
no,
you zoom out,
he's there. I'm
oh
finding
yeah,
him.
oh
I feel
yeah,
like I'm discovering like dark matter the way that like scientists do. They're like, sir, we don't know how to like see it, but we're seeing it blocking stuff, right? Like that's how we find out about
you
black
can see the
holes.
leg.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a scientist. All right, cool. Um,
Um, so yeah, there are two issues here. The first one being that the horse is too big, or I mean, the camera is too close to the horse, and the second one is that since we don't use the materials and we don't have any lightning on the scene, it's all black. So we will start by let me think. We will change the material of the horse so
okay.
that it doesn't need lightning. So if you before we had, yeah, you can do data.children because we know that the mesh is inside the children array. Dot material is equal to new tree dot mesh basic material, the same we did for the box. Yeah, color, and we can give it another. Ooh, something is happening already. A green horse.
Stunning.
Nice.
All right. If you ever wanted to know how big a horse is, it's maybe like 20 cubes. I don't know, maybe 15 cubes tall. Cool. All
That's
right.
it,
So
man.
I love that the horse. So like sometimes I've struggled with getting, especially from Blender, like if I've modeled it, I've struggled with getting things into 3. So I'm just glad that we didn't hit any snags there because that's pretty nice. It might be like I've struggled with like the Draco compression with GLTFs and stuff like that. Like that stuff can get kind of tricky. Um, I think it goes back to like my PNG analogy where it's like sometimes you need to do funky stuff around the GLTF and you have to get GLTF loaders and Draco compression. I don't know. It just gets kind of overwhelming. But this is good. We're good. So
Yeah, so we
now
have
what?
the horse. Well, the next step will be to set up the fur.
Cool.
And to do that, we will be using a very, very useful plugin for Three.js that's called Mesh Surface Sampler. And it's actually, you give it a geometry. So in our case, we'll give it the horse as a parameter. And that function will return a point, a vector, that is on the surface of any polygon of that horse. So a random point.
Got
You
it.
just give it a horse and it will return you coordinates of a point that is on the surface of that horse. Um, And that's how we're gonna randomize like all the fur. We'll just put 1,000 dots on the surface of the horse, and then we'll see how to make them as fur, not just dots.
Cool.
So we'll need to import that plugin.
Okay.
So you can just copy paste again, and it's called Mesh Surface Sampler.
Hold on.
Yeah, and instead of the loaders folder, it's the math, M-A-T-H. No, like the word that ends with TH. Yeah.
Like the word that you spelled
the math.
You know, the word that ends in TH. The one.
The only one. The one that matters. Okay, so no errors, so we can actually use it straight ahead.
Cool.
This is going fine.
Yeah. You sound surprised. Like, Alex isn't screwing it up so badly yet.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, usually with Three.js, you forget things in parameters and stuff.
And that's what I was kind of like. I was just happy that we got the horse in, because like that's a snag for a little bit. So this is great. Yeah.
So inside the callback again, this is not going to be super clean. So, well, maybe let's make it a function so it's a bit cleaner. So maybe here you can call the function after the scene.add. Let's call a function. Yeah. So you keep that, and on another line, you can just call setup fur and create the setup fur function.
Cool. Do you need to pass the data?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Okay. So the first step is to create an instance of that sampler. So you can create a variable called sampler. And new tree mesh surface sampler. And what you will give it is data that's children 0. And then after that you can do .build. So it actually starts
at the end here.
Yeah. Okay. So now we need a vector, a 3D vector. So what we will do is give that vector to the sampler and say, please find us a point among the surface, and it will update that vector based on the coordinates it will find. So we can reuse the same vector every time, and then we just clone the positions of that vector.
Cool.
But we need to set up a vector first. So you can do const just v.
Outside
whatever.
the function or inside the function?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
New tree, vector 3. Yeah. So for now, it's it's default coordinates, so 0, 0, 0, and we will sample it. So yeah, after that, after the line 44, so inside the setup fur, you can do sampler.sample and give it the vector, so v. And then you can, let's do a console log of v.x, so we see if it works.
Are we still logging? Where else do we have? Console log. That's the only console log, I think. So.
Yeah, maybe you should open the actual DevTools. Oh.
3.
Okay.
Mesh surface sampler. Did I type it right? Mesh surface sampler. Mesh surface sampler.
Oh, sorry, it's not. No. Mesh surface sampler.
Is it not new? Oh, sorry, no, it's not 3 dot. It's just mesh surface sampler. I added the 3 dot in the front of it, so that's not where we're importing it from. We're importing it by itself.
Yeah, so we get coordinates.
Cool.
Great.
Okay, so it's just doing that once though. Is that correct? Like it's not.
Yeah. So we'll need to do it more, a lot more.
Yeah.
Just one thing I forgot at the beginning of the code pen, right after the import, I usually add a console.clear so that every time the iframe is being reloaded, I don't get all the previous messy
That's really
logs.
smart. Because yeah, I'm always
Yeah.
like, is that an old error? And then I have to hit clear, and then I have to reload it, and that makes a lot of sense. Good tip.
Okay, so yeah, as we said, we will need many of them. So what you can do is create a for loop right after we set up the sampler. Yeah,
Cool.
inside a setup fur. So a for loop that will go from 0 to, let's say, 500 for now.
And then I plus plus.
And you can move, yeah, exactly. And to show all the points we're actually sampling, we will use the points objects in Three.js. It's a very simple way to just show little squares, little particles in Three.js.
Okay.
So we will need to store all the coordinates into an array. So before the for loop, what you can do is create that array that will contain all the points. So vertices equal empty array. Yep. And then vertices.push v.clone. Yeah. So this way we get a new instance every time, because if we don't do that, we will push the same object every time, but it will only keep track of the last updates because we will erase, we will overwrite the previous coordinates that we calculated on each iteration in the for loop.
So did we break something? Why is my for loop not good? For let I equals 0, I is less than 500, I plus plus.
No, that looks fine.
But nothing.
What if you open it in a debug mode? I've had issues before with iframes where it stops like loading at all.
Huh. I'm gonna hit refresh on okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was weird. Okay. Got it. So we're getting a whole lot of numbers. That shows that it's working. Cool. So we're gonna do the points you said, right? So we've got an array full of these coordinates. Now what?
So you can remove the console log to avoid overloading the console. And then outside of the for loop, you can create material for that. So const points material equal new tree.points material, and give it a color for all the points, so not green because we won't see them otherwise.
Got to go for the last remaining one, 0000 FF. gotta stick with your RBG or RGB.
RGB, yeah.
A Ruth
maybe it's in the metric system it's RGB. I don't know for you. So we get a material. We need the geometry. So you can create a const points geometry, and you can create a new buffer geometry. And then after the dot set from points, and you give it the vertices. So it's a really neat function in Three.js to convert a regular array in JavaScript into a buffer geometry. Before we could, before the geometry in the past, you could give it an array of all the vectors and it will be fine with that. But now everything is buffered. I think it's for performance reasons. So we need to have this little extra step to convert everything in the right format.
Cool.
And so the last is to create a mesh. So you can create just points, new points. Yep. Oh, yeah. New 3.points, and give it the point geometry and then the point material.
Wait, which first?
The geometry. Always
first.
start with geometry.
Yeah. Right, so I'm going to move that up just so it's a bit clearer. Is
that
okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's okay.
So it follows the order. All right.
And then you can add it to the scene. Yeah.
Whoa. Woo! All right. We're flying through this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a very furry horse. Well done.
That's one kind of a fur.
This is like I think this is one of the ways you can lose in the Oregon Trail. It's like your horse has blue spots or something. This is not a winning horse, I think.
Well,
This is
something that's funny
awesome.
you could do is like reduce the size of the points. So when we
Right.
create the material of the point material, you gave the color blue. You can also set size and make it maybe 0.1. And then if you scroll up, we will remove the green horse from the
It's like
scene. So we
stubble.
actually,
it's, it's like it shaved yesterday. So good. Sorry,
I feel bad. Yeah,
we're
just like remove the horse from the scene. So on the callback when we load the OBJ,
oh yeah, where is that? Scene
yeah,
add
just
data.
comment that out. Yeah, and also move the camera so that you don't have to always zoom
Yeah,
out.
that's a good call. So let's do that because I keep having to zoom out. Camera position Z. What do you think? Just camera position. You should
Um,
probably set all three at once, right?
yeah, you can. No, it's not
It's
like
not
that.
not an array. What
It's
is it? Oh, is it set?
dot
Dot
set.
set?
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's just see what that gets us.
I
Honestly
don't think it will. Yeah, the Y could be maybe a little more.
okay. Good enough for now. Good for a
Yeah,
starter, just to kind of get a view at it. All right, cool. So we've got a
you've got the
hollow
points.
horse. This is so
It's,
you also did a cool thing where so is this kind of the way that you were doing those other experiments?
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you had a
yeah.
few other cool ones.
It's based on a. Actually, I wrote an article on code drops
You
about this
did,
technique.
yeah.
Um, because I think it's really neat to create like 3D objects. Yeah, you may have to go.
Pointillist and
Hmm.
dog like this, right?
Yep, but this one was.
Yeah.
I mean, I exported the 3D model into SVG because this doesn't contain any WebGL anymore.
Got it.
If
Okay,
you if
but
you check
still
the
a
HTML,
gorgeous effect. So
um,
good.
yeah, I can't remember the last one. I no.
I'm trying to just
Ooh, some of them. Yeah, that's another no.
I loved this, by the
Hmm.
way. If you chat, if you like Squid Game, copy link address. This is motion detection, where as you're moving around, you get closer, but if the head turns around, you have to freeze. And I die every time in this, but yeah, it's so fun. It's a really
Well, there
really
was
cool
a
one.
really nice fort by Charlie Gérard. She actually made a full version of the full body, so you can see her running in her flats.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
it's
Oh yeah, I
working
did
the
see
same
that. I
way.
did see that. Sorry, sorry. It took me a second to process the name in
Oh yeah, the
American.
French name,
Yeah, yeah, just like
Charlie
oh,
Gérard. Yeah.
you mean Charlie Gerard? Yeah,
Charlie.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm like oh, that's cool. I haven't heard of this person. Yes, I did see that, and I love that she like took your idea, and
Hmm.
just played with it. So good. Oh, and thank you for dropping that the link. Oh, and Will, good to see
Yeah.
you, buddy. Yeah, they dropped the link to your surface sampling in Three.js article.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for dropping that. Yeah,
Yeah. You get
so
demos
cool.
there as well with animals.
So cool.
Lots of animals if you.
They're fun. Yeah, I support it. I'm taking a hard stance. I am pro animal. I like
Whoa,
them. Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah. And kids. I think kids are the future. Crazy stance. I'm not afraid to take risks though. I'm that brave. So
yeah.
so
This
brave.
switch
Thank
is
you.
going a little too far for me, Alex. I.
All right. Sorry, I keep getting us off track, but
Yeah.
that's the show. That's how this works. All right. So we've got this horse now. Is it cool if we kill the cube too?
We can kill the cube. I think I like the cube.
You like?
It
Okay,
was a-
well, we're keeping the cube. We're keeping the
I
cube.
think it's because it's a nice way to keep like a reference to the center of
Okay,
this scene.
that
It
makes
makes
sense.
me, it makes me calm.
Perfect. Then we're keeping it.
Um,
All right. What's next?
Maybe you can switch the color to green instead of blue because I personally cannot really see a lot of the blue.
Good
Maybe on
feedback.
the stream people um,
Yeah.
think
Well, the
the
blue's
green and
definitely
blue.
like darker to our eyes, so
Mm,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Cool. Nice.
Okay. So now that we know that the sampler is working, we need hair instead of points. And
Cool.
to make the hair, we will create a bunch of lines. So the idea is to take the position of all the dots we have now, and instead of having a dot, we will expand the dot into a line. So we will need to calculate the end of that line, and we will see how to do that while we do it, obviously. And then the fact is that when you know how to make the hair on the surface, you will understand that how to animate it is actually to animate the end of that hair. So the start, it always like stick to the skin, but the end is moving, is flowing with the wind.
Got
So
it.
what we will animate is the end position of all the little hair lines. Um,
Cool. Okay. Um, is this normals? Like, are we going to get into normals
yeah,
to tell
exactly.
which direction the polygons are
Direction.
facing?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
nice.
You're right. So we will need. Let me think.
Yeah.
Uh, Wait, I'm a little lost
No
with
worries.
my own. The line geometry always come from. Yeah, you can create another line geometry.
Okay. What do you want that? In place of the
Let's do
point.
that after. Yeah, after all this with the points. We can keep
Okay.
the points for now.
Cool. Cool. Okay. So
So we can create a lines geometry, and it's another buffer geometry. And then you can create the material that we will need for the lines. So line material, new 3.line basic material.
three dot line basic
Material. And we can make them red. I think on
Cool.
the green it will be visible enough. And then you can create the mesh. And in this case, we won't use a mesh, but we use a line segments. So new 3.line segments. And you give it the line geometry and then the line material. So the line segments, the way it works is you give it a bunch of points, and it will create lines with every pair of the points, every pair of vector. So if you give like 10 coordinates, it will Three.js will know that you actually want 5 lines displayed on the screen. It will
Got
not
it.
try to make a one long line, but to make many smaller, like many
Okay.
just like 2 coordinates lines, because otherwise you would need to create 1,000 line objects, which is really not the best for performances. So yeah, this is nice.
That's really cool.
And you can add that to the scene
Cool.
so that it's visible. Okay, so nothing is happening for now because the geometry is empty. So we created the geometry, the material, and the mesh, but there is nothing inside.
Okay.
So what
Oh, right.
we'll
We
need
didn't
is
pass vertices, right? Like we
Mhm.
passed the vertices here, but we didn't pass them down
Yeah.
here. Cool.
So we before the for loop.
Before the four. Cool.
Yep, where we sample all the points.
Yeah.
We Yeah, so we have the vertices, and we will create another one for all the hair. So you can just call it hair or fur.
Another array.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
And the vector v that we created outside of the function, we'll need another one that you can call normal, or n for normal. And yeah, it's a 3D vector as well.
Cool.
Okay, so now inside the for loop, when we sample on the surfaces, we give the vector where we want to keep the coordinates, but we will give it another parameter, which is the normal vector, so that Three.js will return us the direction of the plane. So when you have an object, for example, the horse, if you check all the polygons, every polygon has a direction. It looks toward a direction, and that's what we call the normal. So Three.js can also return that value. Yeah, if you have a little
Yeah, like this
drawing.
I find
Yeah,
helpful where
yeah. And it's actually it's fur. It's non-animated fur.
right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just the hair sticking. Yeah, so like just saying that all of these normal or these polygons are facing in those different directions, and that's how like light is simulated, and all this other stuff is done, and we're just going to use it to add fur
Yeah.
onto our thing. But yeah, normals in 3D, pretty cool stuff. Thank you for the follow,
Um,
Le Stream Atoto. Welcome.
okay, so yeah, in the sample function, so on line 52, after the v parameter, you can add the normal parameter on the line 52. So you have
Sorry.
sampler the
Got it.
sample v, comma, yeah, normal.
Where's normal coming from?
We created it. Oh, sorry, it's n. Yeah.
Cool. I was just making sure. Cool.
Um, okay, so now we have the origin of the hair, and we know in which direction it's looking. So we can calculate the end position of that hair.
Okay.
And to do that, we will after the vertices dot push, we'll do some a little bit of math. So we get the normal. Wait, I'm just thinking because the normal is already. Let's try it this way for now. But okay, can you do fur dot push v dot clone, and then after that you can do normal dot position normal dot x. So on another line.
Okay.
So the normal doesn't contain the coordinates. It's only a direction. But what we want to do is to move that direction based on the coordinates. So we will add the origin of the hair inside the normal. So because if you wish, like the normals are always, they all start from 0, 0, 0. They just look into a direction. It's just like an arrow
What
that's pointing somewhere.
what's that value though? Like we're saying it points in a direction. Is that like I don't think I have a good mental model of like if it's going that way, is it three numbers? And what are the three numbers? Like is it a degree? But like
No,
360.
it's all coordinates. So like if I am in the center of a 3D scene, I'm at 0, 0, 0. I'm the
Okay.
0, 0, 0 coordinates.
Right.
And if you give me your direction is
Here to here.
1, 0.5, 1, it
Let's
will
go
be
there.
1 in X and then zero point 0.5 in Y, so midway, and
Right.
then 1 in Z, so in one direction. So based on that, you can calculate angles. But it's from my position where I'm looking at. I'm
Right.
looking like in that amount in X axis, that amount in Y axis, and then that amount in Z axis.
Got it. So
Um,
is the normal paired with V or paired with the origin 000? Like because those would give two different directions. So it's paired with V. So V is the center of the polygon is or the center of our point.
yeah. It's I mean, it's the exact position of it.
Yeah. And then
Uh,
N is the normal that's relative to that point that we drew, or N is relative to our origin, like you were
so
giving the example for.
well, the values that you get, they're all normalized. So
Okay,
you
so
will always get a value between 0 and 1. So it's always, if you wish, it's based on the like it's from the origin of the scene.
okay, All right.
Um,
I,
because
I,
if I give you a point in a 3D space and I give you its normal, you know where it's looking at.
right.
I don't need to give you both information at once. I mean, I don't need to give you twice the coordinates. I give you where it is and I give you where it's looking at. But
Makes
the
sense.
information of looking at doesn't have to be based on the coordinates. Because
I
I can be here and looking somewhere, but I can also be here and looking somewhere at the same direction.
right. No, I think I get it. I think it'll be a bit more clear once we have something to
Yeah,
like
when we like
to talk about. Yeah.
visual,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Sorry, just trying
So
to. I'm
what we're
just.
trying to
Yeah.
do is that discussion is to actually it's to add the coordinates values where it's starting from to the normal. So the normal x you can do plus equal v dot x, and you can do
Got
that
it.
with
This answers my question.
the y
Cool.
and the z.
Cool.
And
Thank you for
then
the follow,
you can do
James.
fur dot push n dot clone.
Cool. And now we need to render that fur, or rather send that to the lines, right? So the new buffer
Yeah,
geometry is
to
going to
the
have those.
geometry.
Cool.
So you can do set from points the same way we did it with the vertices.
Oh,
And you
cool.
give it fur.
So we don't give it. Oh,
That's a very evil horse.
it looks like some kid with a Nerf gun just went off on this horse. Like some kid just got a horse and a
Yeah,
Nerf gun
it's
for his birthday, and that poor
very
horse.
bloody.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Uh, Adrian asks, I wonder what would be the best approach to add fur only to a specific part of the model. Yeah, I think we're going to touch on that a little bit, or at least you could talk about it, Louis. I know because the fox has different color fur for different spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
For like different parts of it. So you've definitely cracked that code a bit. Great question, Adrian. I'm kind of wondering the the same thing because the fox wouldn't look nearly as cool if it was just completely orange. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, definitely
So
intrigued.
what we did with the sampler is we are getting the coordinates, so the position of the points. We're getting the normal where the point is looking at, but you can also give it a third parameter, which is the color. So Three.js will give you the color of that surface. Um, so on the horse that we downloaded, I think it has a black hair and I mean the black,
Yeah, but it's a
the thing they have on
texture.
the back.
It's not. It's a UV
Well,
texture.
we will try to give it a look later
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it's a texture, but mm, yeah, we'll check. Otherwise, you can
Might be
just use
tricky.
another model. But if you go back to poly.pizza just to find my fox there.
Yeah, I think your fox has different materials added to different parts of its body because it's like based on the
Yeah.
polygons. Yeah.
So each point that is sampled on the surface of the fox is linked. I mean, it's attached to a face, and the face has a color.
Right.
So what I'm doing with my demo is I'm creating three arrays of the fur, and each one has a different material. One is white, one is orange, and one is brown. And I'm sampling all the points. And if the point is brown, it's added to the array of brown hair. If it's orange, it's added
Got
to
it.
the orange
Oh, that's
array.
cool.
Um,
That's
so yeah,
awesome.
maybe we'll check with the horse. Maybe it has multiple materials in it. Uh,
Just I mean, like my hunches no, right? Just because of that, but maybe
hmm.
especially
Well,
because
if you open the material file, you can open it. It's a text file. No, not the texture, but the material
oh,
with any text editor.
where am I? I'm like missing the
Oh,
open
open
with.
with below the
There we go.
share. Yeah.
Cool. Nope, not Photoshop. Cancel. I'll just boot up VS Code real quick and drag it in. Sure, right there.
Oh yeah, it's only one
Yeah,
material. Sorry.
that's cool though. No, I didn't know that you could do this. That's pretty neat. Very small file. Interesting.
No, I mean, it's only like one color and one reference to a PNG file.
Got it.
But for example, with the fox, you would have all the materials, all the colors defined inside that text file.
That's cool.
Okay, so the issue is we have now is that the normal, as I said, it's a value that is between 0 and 1, which means that all the hair will have a length that is up to, I was going to say 1, but it's not 1 because it's 1 in a box. So it's like the diagonal of a box, but it's too big for us.
Yeah.
That's my point. I mean, horses don't have that long hair, at least in our world. And so we will need to reduce that value. So if you go back to the for loop where we calculate all the normals, here, instead of doing all the 3 lines with n plus equal x plus equal y and so on, we will make everything in 1 line. So you can remove all the 3 lines here.
Okay.
And you can make n dot add, n dot multiply scalar, scalar, 0.5. So it will basically divide the normal by 2. And then after that, you can do, so you see what's happening here now is that we don't add the origin of the hair. So all the hairs are starting from the center of the scene, and they are going all the way to the point that is on the surface of the horse.
That's pretty cool. So that's a cool different effect. Like if you're going for something like that's just pretty neat. It's not what we're going for, but it could still be cool if like you're doing this intentionally. That's awesome.
Well, one effect that you can do is sample 2 points and then connect them to each other. So you create like lines that are inside your model, your 3D model. So you can recreate like a volume with lines inside your model. So we need to add the coordinates of the vector. So after the multiply scalar, you can just do dot add on the same line, and you add v. So the x will be added to x, the y will be added to y, and the z will be added to z.
Cool. Do we want to go even shorter with the hair?
Yeah, maybe.
0.2 maybe?
And if you want, you can also add more hair.
That's
on my demo, I have 50,000.
Okay, let's crank this. So that's 5,000. That's 50,000. All right. Whoa. That is cool.
The green horse is back on the scene. I know it's just it's all the points.
It's the points. Yeah. That filled in the body, and now he's got the red hair. That's so cool.
So it's probably time to bring the horse back. I don't think we will need the points anymore, so you can just comment the line 63. So we won't use the points, but so the horse that we removed from the scene, you can put it back. Yeah, and what you can do is the color of the horse that was green, make it black. And this way, what it will create is the effect that you can only see the hair that are looking at you. You don't see the hair that are in the back, because the model, the 3D model itself, is hiding all the hair that are behind the camera. Right. I mean, behind the faces.
So cool. We need to move the camera up. Not on the
that's the.
No. Because it's still looking at the R. Okay. So we need to change what it's looking at. So camera, I guess at the bottom we can do.
But it will always look at the center because we're using orbit controls. Orbit controls is always. I don't think you can change the targets.
Can we slide the horse down to the origin then?
Use the focus point of the controller orbits.
This goes down. To
I think it's actually a good idea. Let's remove the box. I will be fine with that.
Are you sure?
I will create more boxes after this.
All right. I don't hear from you.
If I need a box,
and you just go on a box spree. All right. So then we're gonna. So as soon as data comes in, we can.
Yeah, you can do data.children0.geometry.translate. So the x, we don't want to move it, but the y, you can do -5 and then 0. Yeah, now I'm...
That feels
Yay!
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
now we get to look around it a bit more, a bit easier. Sweet. Nice. And just for chat, the reason we like moved it all the way up here, or I could be wrong here, but the reason I wanted to move it so soon is so that everything was based on that. If we moved the horse, like here or something, it would be too late because all the numbers have already been calculated based on the original position of the horse. So we had to move it like right away, and then everything could get
Yeah.
based on that.
And if I can add to that, if you go back to where you actually translate the geometry, if you comment that out, and instead of translating the geometry, you could do data.position.y.
Data.children.
No, so because the data is a mesh, it's a group, so you can move the group. So we will lower the full group.
Okay.
Yep. And if you do that, what's happening now is that the horse itself is going down, but the geometry is still at its origin position.
Got it.
But we use the geometry to generate the fur. So when you do a geometry that translates, Three.js is actually going through all the vertices of the 3D model and updating them based on the translation you're asking. So it's often very useful to update all the geometry instead of just moving the mesh or the group.
And this can definitely be like a gotcha, and you're like, why is this happening that way? So good point. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we got our horse in the middle of our scene. So now what do we want to do? So like it's still like still. It's cool, but it's still. Are we good to move on to the animation bit, or is there still more to handle here?
No, I think we're good with the fur for now.
Yeah.
So I think we can check the setup fur and go to the last point for today.
Cool.
So, okay, this is where I'm going like blind because I wrote, I wrote this a few weeks ago and then I tried to read it back. Obviously, there is no comment in my demo, so but no I understand. I remember how I did it. I just don't really know why I have so many lines.
No worries.
We'll be fine. So we need a function. We will call. So on each frame, we will update. So like I said, let's go with what we're gonna do. So we have all the hair. The hair is basically a bunch of vertices that are stretched out to make a hair. So it goes from the skin of the horse to a distance that is 0.2 maximum. I think that's what we did with the multiply scalar. Right. So we're just like stretching, like hair, pulling the hair from the horse. And what we will want to do is on each frame, we will update that end of the hair to make it move based on some simplex noise.
Okay.
So we can apply the simplex noise on all the points based on their position. Yeah.
Got it.
So
super quick, Altsagochia, thank you so much for that sub. I really appreciate it. It's great to have you here, and thank you very much for the support. It is super appreciated. So this is noise that's essentially made from a certain function, right? Like we can pull in this function and get this kind of noise. Oh, and oh shoot. So like here's Simplex Noise being used to generate like geography, and you can use it for lots of stuff. That's cool. Yeah, that's really neat.
Minecraft is really just a big world made from noise, right?
Got it. That's so cool. Wizard Princess asks, is this a whole channel about animating horses? Because if so, I'm down. Kind of. It kind of is. Not intentionally, like not by design, but we've kind of stumbled into people come on to show us animation stuff, and it turns out to be a lot of horses. So you're gonna enjoy it here, I think.
Well, did you ever ride a horse in your life?
Like 3 times, like about like the average amount. I'm not like particularly well versed in horses or anything. I mean, I've gotten well versed in like random horse facts and starting this, but I'm not huge into horses in my free time or anything. But yeah.
Okay, well, maybe later. You never know.
I mean, if we hit a certain sub goal, I'm buying a horse. All right, that's what we're doing. We're gonna go. If we get like 10,000 subs, I'm buying a horse and maybe a ranch. So yeah, we're gonna make it happen.
Okay, let's note it for 2025, maybe 26.
I mean, if you want to dream small, it's cool. So how do we pull in this simplex
Yeah.
noise?
So, oh yeah, we will need to load it.
Yes,
Well, let's use Skypack because apparently it's really nice.
it's really nice.
So, if you look for Simplex Noise, there should be Simplex dash noise.
Yep.
Yep, that's probably the good one.
Yeah, it says right here, this is the good one. So yep, we
It is a good one.
oh wait, no, it's a bad one. Simplex noise parentheses the crappy one. Cool.
Well, can you just rename the name of it?
Yeah.
I mean the Simplex Noise and make it capital S, capital N.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. So now we can go all the end of the file, and right before the animate, you can create another function that we will call update fur.
Cool.
Yep, that's a weird way to create a function.
It is.
Okay, that's a better function.
I don't like JavaScript. But I do my own thing.
Okay, and inside the function, we will need a couple of data, obviously. So there are some variables that we created inside the setup fur, and we should create them outside so we can reuse them on
Cool.
each frame. So the line geometry and all that, you could move them outside.
Okay, line geometry and line material.
And the line mesh.
And line mesh.
The
Okay,
line mesh,
cool.
let's move everything. It's global
So,
variables.
like do we need these points at all?
No, we don't need them anymore.
Okay. Is it
And
cool to delete them?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
You can also remove the vertices that push, and then the vertices variable that you created.
Good call. But do we not need that anymore?
No.
Oh,
Which was just like a way to
just
show all the some things.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna check to see if it crashes anywhere. Yeah, it's crashing somewhere. What's it mad about? V clone. Here you go. Fur push. And the fur.
No. We need. Wait. No.
I'm just here to delete everything, Louis. I'm deleting everything.
No, just the vertices, the points, but we still need the vector.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, how are we deleting that? All right, well, let's go.
No.
All right,
so
cool.
the line 49. Yes.
Got it. So just that. Like, all right, if you say so.
Okay, but the line 43 can be deleted as well. Yes.
All right.
Okay, that's a good cleanup.
Nice.
So now,
now stop.
Let's get... You can delete everything. We will start from scratch again.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so make it
To
global.
do today, right?
You what?
You don't have anything else to do today, right?
Oh, for me, it's already almost time to go to bed anyway. I can spend the whole night on it.
All right.
So we will get an issue because we have a set from points on line 41.
Fur is not defined. Hold on. Did I delete fur?
Yes.
So
okay. No. You can just cut the set from points function. So if you scroll up, the set from points, you can cut it.
Okay.
Yep. And we will use it after we generate the fur. So if you go back on the for loop, right after the for loop,
right,
you can make line geometry dot set from. I mean, you can paste if you cut it.
I didn't cut it.
Yeah, the fur.
Did I? No, I did not.
No, it's fine. And the scene.add, you can also add it outside of the function. It's not needed to be here.
Okay, just here.
I mean, above so you can create the mesh and then add it into the scene immediately.
Got it. Okay, cool. So cut.
I think it makes more sense for me to you create the geometry, the material, the mesh, and you put it into the scene.
Totally makes sense. The compiler is furious. Wizard Princess, if puns are your thing, you're really going to enjoy the Discord. You're going to enjoy it here for sure. There's a Discord. We thrive on puns, so you are definitely gonna. I think you find your place.
Yep. So
we were doing this, the update fur bit.
Yep.
So we pulled in Simplex Noise.
Okay, that's great. The fur array. Can you also?
Sorry, you cut out what?
Sorry, the fur.
Yeah.
The fur. Can you make it global?
Yep.
I feel like everything will be global at the end of the stream.
Works for me.
Okay.
That can't be.
So
the rest is, I think we're good for the rest. All right, cool. So we got the fur array.
Yeah. Yep. So you can make a for loop, and we will go through I equals 0 until fur.length and I plus equal 2.
I what?
I plus equal 2.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because of the 2
So
points.
we will go through, yeah, exactly. So we want to go through all the hair. So if we used a for each, we wouldn't go through all the hair, but we will go to all the vertices, which is not what we want. We want to go like 2 by 2. Cool. So let's get the first point. So you can create a const p1 that's equal to fur I. Oh. And then the p2 that's going to be fur I plus 1. So p1 is the origin of the hair, p2 is the tip of the hair.
Cool.
We, based on the origin of the hair, we will calculate a value from the noise function. So now is where we use the simplex noise. And we didn't set up the simplex. So outside of the update fur, you can create a variable called simplex equal new simplex noise. Yep. And then now we can go back to the for loop and make it a const angle.
Hold on, I'm getting yelled at for something. Simplex noise is not a constructor.
Oh, okay. So there is something we didn't do well here.
Could it be?
Yay!
Cool. Lucky guess.
Yeah, so we can calculate the angle. So we can do const angle simplex dot noise 3D capital D.
Cool.
And you can give it the p1.x comma p1.y comma p1.z.
Okay.
So the noise function will return a value between -1 and 1 or 0 and 1. I can't remember, but it's fine. Based on the coordinates that you give. So it means that if 2 points are in the same location, you will get the same noise value. But if you move them from a little bit, you will get a value that is a little bit outside of that. And the more you will go away from that origin, the further the value will be.
Okay.
I mean, cool. the change between the angles. So now the tricky part. The way we want to animate the end of the hair, we want to make them move in a circle. So this is the origin of my hair, and this is my hand is the
joint
tip
or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so the origin will stay stick, but the end will turn as a circle. And to calculate a circle based on an angle, we can use the trigonometry.
Hold on one second.
I love trigonometry.
We just got raided by our good friend Ben Hong. Ben, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everyone. Here with Louis, and we are building this super cool fur simulated. We're actually just getting to the animation, which we're using Simplex Noise to animate the fur kind of like moving in the wind. But we basically took a model from just the internet, a free model, covered it in fur in Three.js, and now we're about to animate it so that it resembles a piece that Louis made here. Check this fox out. So this is kind of what we're like recreating. We're just getting to the part where like, how do you animate this to make it feel like it's fur in the wind? That's what we're working on. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much again for the raid, Ben. What did you work on today? Doing some Obsidian or some other stuff? I love whenever I get a chance to drop in on your sessions. It's always Chrome File System API. I don't think we've ever worked with that. That's super cool. Very nice. Well, it's great to have everyone here. Yeah, we do lots of creative coding and other kinds of fun front-end development stuff here. So if you're into that, Ben's actually been a guest on. If you're into that kind of stuff, you're in the right place. Also, we do lots of horse-related things and puns. So if you're also into that, this is also your place. That fox is foxy. I agree, Brent. It's well put.
A foxy fox.
Cool. So we were just getting into the update fur function where we're using Simplex Noise and passing it the point that is on the horse, not the tip of the fur line, but the base, right, where it attaches to the horse. So we should have an angle here. Should we just get console log? Because I kind of want to make sure that the Simplex Noise thing that I did up above.
Yeah, you will need to call the update fur.
Good call.
But don't do that inside the animate because it will crash. I mean,
got it. Okay, so let's do it.
we
once.
have 50,000 points, so
you
don't want.
It's not console logging, or is it?
Oh, because so the thing is, we only set up the fur once the model is loaded, but here you're calling the function when the fur is still empty.
Got it. Okay.
So you need to call it after the call inside the callback at the end of the callback function.
Good call. All right, where is that? Getting a little
35.
Lost. 35. How do you know that?
Yeah.
You spotted it, or did you remember? It feels.
Yeah, I just spotted it.
Okay, because it's felt a couple times like you've remembered, and I've been like,
No.
it was like I feel like it was off screen, and you're like 22, and I'm like, what? He's right. So
I just know it's easier for people to give them the number line, line number.
Okay. So it's doing this because Simplex is like kind of constantly going. Is that why it continues to do that, or no?
I think it's because it's trying to log 50,000.
That makes sense.
Outputs, and
we're lucky we're still streaming. We might have crashed and lost all of our work. There we go. I killed the console. We're good. Whew.
Yeah, it's working. It's working. We've
cool.
got.
yeah. I just wanted to make sure that this import was kosher. That's kind of all. Just because we just wung that part. So that's all. All right, cool. So we're getting angles back. Horsey.
Okay, so we will update the tip of that hair, as I said. And to do that, we will create a vector where we will apply some of the math. So you can create another vector, a 3D one, that is equal to p1.clone, p2, sorry, so the tip. No. So you don't actually need to create an object. You can just do sorry. So
okay, we're good.
Yes, just p2.clone, and you don't need the new 3 whatever thing.
Okay,
we're just gonna clone the vector, the tip of the hair.
All right.
Yes. Okay, and we need to clone it because we're gonna do some updates on that vector, and if we don't clone it, it means that we will apply all the updates on the hair, but on the next frame, the hair will be moved. So we need to keep track of the base of that hair. So we clone it so that we can apply all the math on it and update the coordinates without actually modifying the origin data.
Got it. Okay.
Maybe later we can just try to not clone it and see how it goes.
If
it really goes
right,
mad.
Cool.
So Mm, oh, yeah, that's the thing.
So we need to like affect.
No, I'm just trying.
Yeah.
I'm checking what I'm doing and why I'm doing. I never reviewed my code, so obviously there are things I'm doing that I shouldn't have done, and this is one of them.
I've never had
Um,
that experience, Louis. I've always all my code is exactly how I should have done the thing, and it's not just a quick
well,
workaround to get it working. We would never do
so
that.
you can create another variable after that, and
Okay.
I know we need to do it because I tried to remove that line, and then the pen just went wild. So just create a
Nice.
variable w. Make it so vector dot
Sorry, cross.
cross, yeah, like a Christian cross,
Okay.
and you give it p2 as a parameter,
Huh. Interesting.
and that's I don't know why we do that, but I know that we need to do it. It's important, so let's keep
Got
it
it.
for now. If I figure it out, I will yeah
Cool.
explain. Um, okay, and okay, so on the so the vector we will need to, so the angle, yeah, the angle, that's where we're gonna use the angle. So we will need to calculate the coordinates along the circle. So as I said, it's gonna move like like on a circle. I
Yeah.
mean, the tip of the hair will turn around a circle. So you can create a const x, and the x will be mat dot cos angle, and then the another variable y const y that is equal to mass dot sine angle. So this is giving us the x and y coordinates along a circle based on an angle.
Based
So
for the
if I
angle that
give
we
you an
know.
angle
Cool.
between 0 and 2 pi, and you get the cos and the sine, you get the x and y coordinates. So that's what we're calculating now. Um, so you can create const radius 1.
R1 or radius.
Yeah, that's good. That's
One.
good.
Yeah.
And make it vector dot multiply scalar. Yeah, and you can multiply the x coordinates.
Okay.
There is a r missing. Multiply scalar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Got it.
and you can do a radius 2. We do the same, but with the y-axis.
Cool. Brittany, good to see you. It's pretty cool, right? Oh, I broke it as I was talking. Multiply scalar y. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So now what we're doing is really updating and moving the tip of the hair. So we will combine all those data together. So if you yeah, okay. So now we need to update the geometry array. So we have the line geometry.
Um,
So
right.
I think that's, yeah, line geometry. Yeah. So line geometry that attributes that position that array square brackets. No, not parentheses. It's the array
Got
is
it.
an array, and you can do parentheses I plus 1, because we want, so the second coordinate, not
Right.
the
We don't want
origin.
to touch the first one because that is
Yeah,
in the horse. That's coming from the horse. We just want the
yeah.
second coordinate, which is the end of the hair. Cool.
Otherwise, the hair will move.
It's
Like
just gonna
brushes that would turn around the
spin
skin.
in place or something. Yeah, I got it. Okay.
And you multiply that by 3, because here the this array is just numbers. So it's inside the square bracket. Sorry. So the index of the vertex, yeah, the vector. So
Okay.
you have X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So it means that if you have one coordinate, you will have an array of 3 numbers.
Right.
If you have 2 coordinates, you will have 6 numbers. So we need to find the index, which is I plus 1, to get the
Right.
the tip of the hair, multiply by 3, because all vertices have 3 values.
Right. Isn't this just gonna like give us 7 though or something, and we'll get the seventh index? I'm confused about that bit because like this would be I plus
So,
1. So say I is 0,
mhm.
that'll give us 1, and then 1 times 3 is gonna be 3. Won't that just give us the thing at the position of 3? No.
But yeah, but that's what we want, because
Oh,
3
okay.
is the x value of the tip of
Thank you.
one vertex.
Got it. So
Uh,
edit x value. Cool.
yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
exactly.
Thank you.
And so this will be equal
Got it. Okay.
to
Radius 1.
so p2.x
P2 dot x.
plus radius1.x plus radius2.x. And you
Wow.
can copy and paste and do the same with the y and
So what's this going to be? 4?
no, it's still 3, but plus 1. So
Oh, 3 plus.
you imagine you have this very long array with all the numbers, and every tree, it's not pairs, it's every tree is one vertex, one vector. So you want to go like by 3, but then offset by 1 to get the y, and then offset by 2 to get the z value.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, you can copy paste and do the same with z.
Okay.
And plus, yeah, okay.
Z and then
And
plus
plus
2.
2 instead of plus 1. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so here we're updating the geometry, but we need to let Three.js know that the geometry has been updated. So after the for loop,
Okay. After, so
no,
here's our for loop,
yeah,
and here. Cool.
you can do line geometry dot attributes dot position dot needs update equal true. Yeah, it's
Oh.
weird. It's
It's not a
it's
function.
a
It's a.
boolean. I think on
Interesting.
each
Got
frame,
it.
Three.js is checking the boolean, and if it changed to true, then it's actually updating the geometry.
Got it.
Um, so we need to call the function in the
Thought we
on the frame, on the
were.
animate one.
Oh,
Yeah,
inanimate.
it was, but
Cool.
I think we won't really see it now because it's not moving, so it's not really
Cool.
visible.
Does it matter where we put it?
No, doesn't matter.
Okay.
But what we will need to give it as a parameter is the time that is going by, because
I
we
was
wanted
wondering
it to
about that.
animate.
Yeah.
So when you use recursive animation frame, you get a parameter which is the amount of milliseconds attributes. There is a s missing.
Ah, thank you.
So yeah, when you use recursive animation frame, the parameter you get in your needs update.
Undefined. So line geometry dot attributes dot position.
Is it position or positions? No, it's position.
I think it's position, but I don't know. I mean, it seems to be. Why is it attribute and then attributes
Oh, because we missed above. It should be attributes.
the whole time?
Yeah,
It should all be attributes. Still doesn't like this.
but it's weird that it's breaking and it needs update, because it means that it cannot find the position.
Right,
Can you open the
exactly.
DevTools
Yeah.
and
Not
click
much more.
on the line to make sure that it's okay? And in the console, can you check line geometry? So if you need to change the, on the top left, you get the top context. You get the top with an arrow next. Yeah, you can go to the
Oh.
CodePen index.html. Oh, but it's a
Oh.
module. Yeah, we don't have access to. Yeah,
Okay. I would
it's not
huh.
attached to the window.
Should we just log
Uh,
what we've got here, or should we console log
yeah,
line geometry dot
yeah, yeah,
attributes?
yeah. Because I don't understand why it's breaking above. Oh, yeah. time that we call this function, it feels like we're calling it when it's empty, when the fur is empty. Can you check every time we call the? Oh, yes. We call that function inside the animate function in the
We
the
call it
animate
before
one.
it's been instantiated
Yes.
or before fur
So
has
what we
anything.
can do, the line 91, instead of request animation frame as soon as we load the page, we should start the animation
Animate.
loop when the model is loaded.
Okay,
So
cool.
you can cut that line, the request
Okay.
animation frame, and paste it at the end of the callback, so that we make sure that
Ah,
everything is running when the model is loaded perfectly and on the
cool.
page.
So for if you just joined us or anything, we're loading in this obj file, and then once that's loaded, we have this callback that does a whole bunch of stuff and adds it to the scene and adds our fur and everything. So we were trying to do things without having that data yet. So now
Yeah.
it seems like it might be better.
Okay, and we still need the timing parameter. So if you go back to the line 86,
Okay.
you can, in the animate parenthesis, you get the parameter that is time, and you can give it to the update for function and make it multiplied by 0.001 because it's a value in milliseconds and
As
you don't
as
want to
we
play
pass
with
it in,
milliseconds. Yeah.
cool. 0.001.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we can go back to the update for.
Update
You get
fur
the time, and before it breaks, if you go up, we are calling the update for function before, and we shouldn't do that anymore. If you scroll up,
here.
yeah, here,
Good call.
yeah. Okay, so now the time, we will be using it inside the noise function. So if you,
Here.
yeah.
Cool.
So for now, we are always getting the same values from nose because we are calculating the nose based on the origin of the hair, but the hair doesn't move. I mean, the origin doesn't move, so we will always get the same values. What you can do is add the time to any of those axes,
Okay.
and this way it will generate new values
Got it.
on each frame.
Because this one is changing each frame when the actual location isn't. Is it moving?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Hmm.
Should we try just dropping this in everywhere, or is that going to be too much?
No.
What's coming
It
in?
should be moving.
Is time coming in properly? Because time might be like undefined or something. Can use new noise 40 and add time as a parameter. Interesting.
Oh yeah, we could do that as well. I'm not used to that library actually, and the one I use most of the time doesn't have a 40 function.
Got it.
So you didn't get any logs, or
I did.
am I?
Yeah, I did
Okay.
towards the end. Yeah.
Okay. So time is working. Okay. Well, can you switch to noise 40 and give the time as the last parameter?
Yeah, sure. Noise 40. Good call. Amit, always good to have you here.
Yeah. Okay, so now we are facing an issue
We
that
are updating the fur to reflect the new the new values, because that should tell it that the line geometry has changed, correct? Right? Like,
Mhm.
should we log the attributes before and after, or that might be tough to read out on 50,000? We could reduce it to like 5 and see if it's actually
You want to
moving.
add some, or you can just remove the request animation frame loop so that, I mean,
It does it
reduce it
once.
to, let's say, 10.
Okay. And then remove
And
the
yeah, here,
recursive. Yeah.
so that it doesn't log on 60 frames per second.
Yeah. Good
Uh,
call. All right.
okay, and yeah, can you make a console log in, let's say, line 70?
line 70 here.
Yeah. You can make a console log of vector.
Okay. Hold on. Hitting all the wrong keys. I guess I could just.
With the, I mean, yeah, not a. What?
So if you do that, it gives like a label.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just kind of handy to see. Oops, cancel.
Okay. I see what's happening.
Yeah.
But then, okay. So the cross is actually like, from my understanding, but I'm not an expert in this, but it's like the when you take something that is looking in a direction, you take something that is looking at the other direction, and you combine one of them. It's like a wave, like when you have two waves, and
Okay.
then they will
Cancel
cross,
out.
and yeah, either they will cancel out or they will like expand exponentially.
Okay.
So here, what we're doing is crossing a vector with itself. So if I'm looking at direction and someone at that direction is looking at me, and we do a cross of both of directions, it will be zero. It will cancel out.
Got it. Crossing the streams.
So
Exactly, Aaron. Yes. Where do you use? Yeah, I was going to ask what Angela just asked. Where do you use the W variable? Because we're not using it. Did we just need to?
yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I understand. I remember. Yeah, we're not using it. But because I'm not gonna lie. I just don't know why we need to set it into a variable. But if you go to my Fox and you remove that,
It
wait, now
breaks.
it's working. No, it doesn't break.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But I remember what we need to do. We need to cross the 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 value that we get with the normal value, but the normal that is actually our normal from 0, 0, 0, not the normal that is moved to the end of the hair.
Okay.
So we actually need to store that data. So we need to keep track of the origin of the hair, the end of the hair, and the normal, the direction of that hair.
Okay.
So if you go back to when we set up the fur,
Setup fur. Here we go.
yeah, here. So what you can do is line 54. Let's
Okay.
create a variable here, and let's call it end for the end of the hair, and it will be end.clone.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, can you do it just above that? Above the line? Yeah. Okay. And then on the next line, you can do end.normal equal end.clone. So yeah, it's a little like Inception because
Yeah.
we clone a vector that is the normal, but that vector that we cloned, that just got cloned, we will multiply the scalar by 0.3 and then add the origin of the hair, meaning that the values will be changed, but by adding the normal to it means that we will keep it's. Yeah, I think it's not liking it. Okay.
I started bringing it back so it didn't seem like it was
So
broken or
basically
anything.
what I'm just doing is we have an object that is a 3D vector, and I'm just storing a normal property that is just something that we made up. It's not part of Three.js,
Okay.
but we just add this normal so that we keep track. I mean, we keep a backup of the normal values without adding the origin of the hair.
Okay.
So if you scroll down now, what we will need to cross is not the vector with itself, but the vector with the normal. So on the line 71,
Okay.
so you can do p2.normal, and you can remove the const w because, yeah, indeed, we don't use it at all.
Got it. But we do need to at least call this function to make the vector dot cross, but
Yeah.
it doesn't like
Yeah.
it.
I was this close of understanding my code.
Cannot read properties of undefined reading
Okay.
x
Okay, so you cannot find the
cross
normal.
vectors.
Okay, can you go back up to? Oh, so P2, yeah, P2 is the end, Victor, and Victor recursive. That's good. Okay, and if you go up, oh yes, 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 yes. We are like the variable we created on the setup for the variable we just made. We are not pushing it into the array.
Which one? The one
If
up
you
here?
go, yeah, here, the
Yeah.
end. We need to actually push the end into the array.
Okay, where?
On the 57, yes, we are creating a new object again, but we don't want to create a new one. And you don't need to clone it. It's already
Okay.
cloned. Yes. So we clone the origin of the hair. To that value, we add the property normal, and then we do all the stuff with the multiply scalar. Now, if you zoom, does it do something?
Hold on, I have to turn back on the request animation frame.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Do you have any console log left?
It's all coming from the origin now. No, I don't. I'm not logging anything.
Okay, good. So it's all coming back from the origin because
So this used to be. Oh, this used to be n dot or fur push n. N is the. Yeah, so it just seemed. I don't know. It seems like we're flip. Yeah.
no, that's good. We cloned the origin, and then we added the normal that's clone.
It just seems like one of our
Oh,
values is now the origin, and it shouldn't be. Or like one of our two values is
oh
not.
yes, because n shouldn't be n dot clone, but n should be v dot clone.
Here.
No, not this. Yeah, yes. No,
Got
no,
it.
no, 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 no,
No.
no, 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 no.
Yes, I
It's
love
nice.
this. We're done. We're done. This is it. This is
Wait,
amazing.
no.
I love this so much. Oh my
Well, it's moving.
god.
That's good news. That's really good news.
It is really good news. I love this. This is perfect. All right, so am I reversing these? So N and V.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yes.
right,
I'm
if we
just.
have to. Yeah. Whoa! It's still wild.
Oh. Oh, yeah. It's because you put back the. It's going in all directions. It's
Yeah, the
too
wind is blowing
too
in its
long.
hair. Well, actually, it's going towards the origin.
Oh, I think I know why. It's because we're calculating, on the circle, but the circle has a radius of 1. So the values that we get are way too high.
Okay.
So can you scroll down to where we use the trigonometry? Yes. So multiply scalar. Can you, instead of multiply scalar x and y, make it x times 0.01?
And same for Y.
And yeah, same for y.
Huh. It's still very origin heavy.
But it's not going. Oh yes, it's going to the origin.
Yeah, it's like it's yeah. Because
956
remember
does
we
nothing.
moved it down to the origin like that. Line 56 does nothing now. And multiply scalar. Yeah.
Because it should be end dot multiple scalar. Yeah, that's
Good call. Okay. Okay. Thank you for
oh.
Macy. Thank you so much.
Woof, thank you,
Good
chat.
eye. Fantastic. So now we just need to get the motion back. So I think this killed the motion, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Your
might
circle
be
is like, yeah, it's a tiny circle.
okay.
Yeah, but
So
still, you still.
we're getting there. So maybe
Yes.
bring that back. Oops. Hold on.
But
So
not 001, but maybe 01 or,
right. Cool. Hold on. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
just oops. Man, I am not typing well. I got a new keyboard recently and it's still my fingers are still trying to learn it. Nice. Okay. Let me reload here. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's really furry, but I love it.
So the noise can be maybe
Just
a bit slow down.
flopping.
I mean,
Just-
it's
how do we slow down the noise? Is it we
so
multiply
the
time?
fine that yes, it should have
So
a lower value.
0.5 maybe. Have it from what it was.
It's still very long hair. It's a bit like
It's
mustache,
very long.
on the front.
Where do we change
The
that?
intense. So the normal. Uh, if you scroll up, yeah, here the multiply scalar is 0.3. That's the
Got it.
distance
So
of
just
the
gonna
of the
do
hair. Yeah.
just so editing later is easier.
Hmm. You can even try adding more hair if you want.
Ooh.
I mean, you should be able to go up to, I don't know, 200,000, even maybe more.
So cool. Fudgesicles, thank you for the follow. Can we real quick do a document on resize or whatever?
Responsive? Yeah.
Yeah, just do that. Um,
Um, window that add event listener resize. And a callback, you can do camera.aspect equal window.inner width divided by window.inner height. And then camera.update projection matrix. And finally, renderer.set size window.inner width window.inner height.
is it a function? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Inner width. Sweet. Thank you.
Hey.
I love it. It's so cool. Look at it. Question: is it easy to make the line thickness different? No, I'm
Sadly,
just
no.
curious.
So because the lines are using the WebGL native lines function, and they are only 1 pixels thick. So maybe in the future we will be able to do that, but not for now. There is a plugin that exists with Three.js. It's mesh line. It hasn't been updated a lot lately.
Got it.
And also, I don't know how it will handle 90,000 lines. But it's a plugin that lets you create lines and then you can apply color gradients and play with the parameters.
Nice, dude. This is so fun. Let's try to let's see. That might be too much. We'll see.
I don't think it will be too much, you know?
All right. Still looking good.
Oh, yeah, there was one free trick for everybody. If you go to the setup for the renderer, so at the very top of the code, you ask if you could add parameters for the WebGL renderer. You
Right.
can actually give one parameter, which is anti-aliasing.
Right.
It's a free shader that
In the
you get.
renderer. Wait.
So line 20. Yeah, you can give it an object and do anti-alias. Alias?
Is it?
No capital. Yeah. True. No, just anti-alias.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh. Yeah. So
It should be a
anti-aliasing
more
chat.
smooth.
Yeah. Like it blurs the edges of things that are really hard. So like you'll notice it more in video games. Anti-aliasing images. So like, yeah, this might be good. Where tough to see there. I don't know why. Here we go. This might be good. Nope. Okay.
When we have very
Yeah, so
thin
like
lines, it's
here you
really
can
the
see
cables.
like yeah, it's like very pixelated, like hard edges where it blurs those lines a bit and smooths it out. So yeah. Yeah, you can see here like this feels like pixel art, but this feels a bit more realistic, a bit blurrier. It's nicer. So anti-aliasing is pretty nice, and that looks great. That's such a fun thing, Louis. Really appreciate it. Feathering all the things. Yes, Aaron, exactly. Awesome. We get it. We did it. We got to it.
Yeah, we did it.
Was there anything else
we
that
took
we
us
wanted
2
to hit
hours,
here?
but we did it.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah,
got
I
it.
think that's so for the color. If people are interested in that, you can check my demo. I will try to add some comments later this week. And yeah, like we discussed, it's really based on the model. On the fox, I have different models, so I have different colors. The horse, I don't think we would be able to do that.
Yeah, so going back to like the original, like so now in retrospect, these foxes are kind of cool. You have to pay for those though. So this guy might have actually been the way to go.
Yeah,
Because he is colored, or she is colored by the polygons, right? So like, I mean, like as far as I can tell, these
it's
polygons
not a
have a
PNG
different
texture,
right. That like these polygons have a different material than these, so you can do the fox trick that Louis did, where the one that we have, like it gets like they did a cool like gradient thing with the PNG here, so like it looks cool, but it's one big texture applied to this mesh, and so you can't easily get the colors. I mean, you probably could, but it's a bit more complex, right? Like you could probably like apply the material and then do a sampler of some kind. I have no idea. I'm sure someone could. I'm sure there's some way of reverse engineering that. Amit said 2. Oh, you did say 2. See, but I mean, this is the problem with democracy, Amit. I appreciate it. Louis,
well, this is a good exercise
awesome.
just for the people. You can recreate the same effects with the second horse.
There you go, and then try to dig in and figure out the color sampling,
the color, yeah,
from the Fox one. But man, this was an absolute blast. Let me link people to your Twitter. Mamboleoo.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much you
updated
everywhere, right? Like your mamboleoo.be. Basically, if you see that word somewhere, it's Louis. He's got his own exclusive name and everything. So very, very cool.
Yeah, I should copyright it. Make sure it's
yes, absolutely. Lock that down. But man, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for coming by and showing this to us, because it's just a very, very fun code pen. Really cool techniques in this, and I always love digging into Three.js just because it's fun to work in, right? Like 3D is kind of just inherently fun. So thank you for this furry horse. I will treasure it.
It's yours forever now.
It
It's
is
red and bright, and
I just hope no one tries to mint it or just get it right out from underneath me. I shouldn't have even put that out in the universe. It's already minted. Someone already did it. Oh well.
Maybe in the metaverse, but
what? In the metaverse?
Maybe in the metaverse.
I want to be able to pet this horse in the metaverse. I want to be able to just kind of like clunkily pet this furry horse with like artificial hands reaching out. That's my dream. That's my dream. But chat, thank you so much for hanging with us. It was a blast having some new people in chat. But for all the people that come like every week, I really appreciate you. Yeah, this was an absolute joy. We don't have a show on Thursday, but Lucy and I, my coworker Lucy, will be streaming over on the Prismic.io stream. So doing a shout out to Prismic.io. I don't think I can do that. There we go. So we're going to be streaming over there. She's going to be teaching me Nuxt stuff. Going to be going through a whole bunch of Nuxt things. I'm excited. It's going to be a blast. Lucy is great. And yeah, it's going to be an absolute good time. So hope to see you there. And Thomas, thank you. Lucy's just such a good person. So hope you all have a good week. If I don't see you over on the other channel, yeah, hope I see you in the Discord, and we'll see you next time. anything else you want to plug? And hire Louis. He makes incredible stuff, and he's available for freelance work. So hit him up. He's just a great person. Rating yourself, yeah, basically. Actually, yeah, we do need to find someone to raid, and hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.